the Ekoko masquerades from Ute village, whose cult is connected with Obaeware and his mother, Elere, appear on this occasion to bless the Oba. Ekoko is a ritual masquerade that dances to please the guests and the Oba.
ITV, certainly the best. Beautiful afternoon to you, and it's a great delight to have you join us on the ITV News for noon. I am Lawrence Osifo. President Bola Tinubu has praised the Senate for his swift approval of General Christopher Musa, retired as the Minister of Defense. Following his nomination by President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday, the upper legislative chamber confirmed the former Chief of Defense Staff on Wednesday after about 5 hours of screening by the lawmakers. In a statement personally signed and posted on his official X, formerly Twitter handle on Thursday, President Tinubu hailed the lawmakers, noting that General Musa's appointment comes at a crucial time for the country. On Tuesday, General Musa was nominated by President Tinubu to fill the position left by Mohammed Badaru, who resigned as the Minister of Defense due to ill health. General Musa's nomination as the minister and eventual confirmation comes during a period of heightened insecurity in Nigeria, where mass abductions, particularly in schools, had become increasingly frequent. One notable incident was the kidnapping of 25 students in Maga in Kebbi State, amid report that security troops had departed shortly before the attack struck. At a screening, General Musa said one of the first things he would do is to probe the alleged withdrawal of the troops shortly before the Maga abduction, insisting that the military is not known for cowardice. The National Assembly on Wednesday called for the public naming and prosecution of terrorism financiers in Nigeria as the federal government explores measures to address the growing insecurity across the country. Both the Senate and the House of Representatives on Tuesday pushed for the exposure of terrorism financiers during the plenary as the way of addressing the security crisis facing the country. The Senate also demanded capital punishment for kidnappers and anyone who finances, enables, or provides information to them as the lawmakers debated amendment to the 2022 Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. The proposal, sponsored by the leader of the Senate, Senator Bamidele Okpeyemi, seek to classify kidnapping, hostage-taking, and related crimes as terrorism, giving security agencies wider powers to track, disrupt, and prosecute criminal networks across the country. The debate dominated Wednesday plenary, drawing contributions from key senators including Senator Adams Oshomole, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu, and Minority Leader Abba Moro. After hours of deliberation, the Senate unanimously approved the amendment bill for further legislative work and referred it to the Committees on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, National Security and Intelligence, and also Interior. The committees are expected to report back within 2 weeks. Bamidele added that the bill would empower security agencies with broader operational authority, intelligence capacities, and also prosecutorial tools to pursue terrorists and their enablers, backing the amendment. Senator Oshomole criticized the de-radicalization programs for terror suspects, arguing that many offenders return to the crime. The First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, says that as part of the Renewed Hope initiative aimed at empowering vulnerable Nigerians, the administration has provided 200,000 businesses grants to 250 persons living with disabilities across 36 states and the FCT. The defense correspondent John Turner reported beneficiaries include persons with disabilities in the armed forces and police nationwide in commemoration of the International Day of Persons Living with Disabilities.
Physically challenged persons in the armed forces and the police were empowered with business-enhancing cash and starter kits through the Renewed Hope initiative in collaboration with DEPOA in easing the economic hardship faced by disabled personnel in commemoration of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, celebrated every 3rd December annually. The First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who launched the empowerment scheme for the disabled in the armed forces and police, says the Renewed Hope initiative under Tinubu's administration is committed to the welfare of persons living with disabilities.
Today, the Renewed Hope initiative is providing the sum of 200,000 naira business recapitalization grants to 250 persons with disability in each state and the Federal Capital Territory to support small business owners to recapitalize their existing businesses and strengthen their means of livelihood. Also, each state of the Federation, the FCT and Defense, and Police Officers' Wives Association have received 50 million naira to be distributed to the beneficiaries in their domain.
The DEPOA president, Menan Oluyede, lauded the First Lady for the initiative to empower the disabilities in the armed forces and the police.
Many continue to face barriers to education, healthcare, employment, and full social participation. In this regard, Your Excellency's unwavering compassion demonstrated across all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory sends a powerful national message that every Nigerian, regardless of ability, deserves dignity, support, and opportunity.
The theme for the International Day of Persons with Disabilities for 2025 is fostering disability-inclusive societies for advancing social progress. From Abuja, John Taina, ITV News.
And Nigerian organizations are facing the highest volume of weekly cyber attacks in Africa. This is according to the newly released African Perspectives on Cybersecurity Report 2025 by Checkpoint Software Technologies Limited. The report reveals that Nigerian firms experience an average of 4,200 attacks per week, significantly higher than the continental average of 3,153 and 60% above the global average of 1,963 attacks per organization. The findings highlight a sharp rise in attacks across Africa, driven largely by the artificial intelligence AI-enabled threats. Nigeria is experiencing business email compromise and cloud exploitation. Country manager for West Africa at Checkpoint, Kingsley Osegale, said the attackers are increasingly using AI to automate phishing, impersonation, and cloud exploitation. The report notes that the cyber criminals are exploiting exposed identities and misconfigured systems to target critical sectors including finance, energy, telecoms, and government. Identity-led intrusions, AI-generated phishing campaign, and multi-vector ransomware are on the rise. The United Nations has expressed concern that displaced communities in Nigeria with camps closing and nowhere else to go risk returning to areas where lethal explosive remnants may be hidden from views. Speaking on the sidelines of the key international meeting in support of the landmine action taking place at the United Nations in Geneva in Switzerland on Wednesday, experts explained how shrinking resources in Afghanistan and Nigeria has exposed the civilians to unexploded ordnances. They stressed that mine action programs, often viewed as long-term recovery initiatives, are in fact emergency humanitarian interventions that saves lives. Chief of the Mine Action Program, Mr. Edwin Frankman, representing UNMAS in Nigeria, said in a statement that returnees in the country were at great risk of landmine deaths. Frankman also said that 80% of all civilians' casualties had occurred in 11 out of 15 areas of return. In response, the UNMAS has trained Nigerian security forces, police, and the civil defense workers on risk education in unstable and hard-to-reach areas. To business news, where the federal government has projected a total revenue of 50,740 billion naira for the year 2026, alongside a targeted economic growth rate of 4.68%, while proposed 2026 deficit has risen sharply. That is now exceed the entire national budget for the year 2022 by 2,780 billion naira. The deficit likely means that the government plans to borrow about 16.1% more than what the entire country spent in the year 2022. The scale of the gap, combined with the high debt service bill, signals a more difficult fiscal year ahead. Experts noted that Nigeria risks sliding into deeper fiscal stress if the government does not tighten its expenditure planning, boost efficiency, and re-establish a credible budget calendar. They warned that rising deficits, unpredictable budget cycles, and mounting debt obligation could undercut the fragile economic stability recorded in recent months and heightened pressure on households and businesses come the year 2026. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, briefed the State House correspondent after the meeting, which was presided over by President Bola Tinubu. He said that the federal government expects to generate 34.33 trillion naira in revenue in the year 2026. He said that the Federal Executive Council FEC adopted an oil production target of 2.6 million barrels per day for 2026, while a lower output of 8 million barrels per day would be used for budgeting. According to him, an oil benchmark price of $64 per barrel and an exchange rate standing at 1,512 naira to the dollar were also approved. To the exciting world of sports, where Mikel Merino and Bukayo Saka scored as Arsenal beat Brentford to restore the 5-point lead at the top of the Premier League table. Manager Mikel Arteta made the 3 changes to the side that drew with Chelsea on Sunday, with Ben White, Noni Madueke, the captain, Martin Odegaard coming in. And it was White and Madueke who combined in the build-up of 11 minutes with the risk back White crossing for Arsenal's makeshift from Merino's to the head home. Bukayo Saka added the second in stoppage time after being played through on a goal by Merino from midfield. And despite the best effort of the Coenham Kehelas, the ball bounced over to the line. The victory extends Arsenal's unbeaten run to 18 games across all competitions and was also their 8th successive win at home. And that's the size of our package for the ITV News at noon. I am Lawrence Osifo, thanking you for watching. Do well to join us at 3 for the World News. Bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
In the evening of the initiation day, all the newly initiated Edion danced to the residents of the Odion Way and also visited some homes of the various senior elders, where Chief Elder Ogbedo Onwonse was very conspicuous, especially at the country home of Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osaro Igbenedion with his family on the night of the initiation. On the following morning, as part of the rite to be performed by the newly initiated Edion in Okada town, the initiates, led by Chief Elder Ogbedo Onwonse, visited the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osaro Igbenedion, at his Okada country home residence to pay homage and appreciate him for all he has done in the development of the community, which has placed Okada in world map. They also thanked him for his role in the success of their ceremony. They commended the Esama of Benin as a custodian of Benin cultural heritage and for revitalizing the age-long tradition of the age-grade ceremony.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking about. That's what I said. So when they bullied her, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They
smart.
can't sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up or dragging on both sides, you cannot breathe. And these women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
The Ekoko masquerades from Ute village, who's with Obaeware and his mother, Elere, appear on this occasion to bless the Oba. Ekoko is a ritual masquerade that dances to please the guests and the Oba.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
Certainly the best.
Jola are people located primarily in Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, and Gambia in West Africa. They are concentrated in the Casamance region or Foni area of Gambia. These people are ethnic group with a rich cultural heritage rooted in wet rice agriculture, a classless social structure, and traditional animist beliefs, often blended with Islam and Christianity. The people hold tenaciously to their cultural heritage, especially their dance culture, which is popularly known as Jola dance, that have carved a cultural image for the people over time. The dance steps of Jola dancers is lovely and interesting, capable of bringing peace to the community as it encourages laughter and creates fun among the people. The Jola people are known for their unique dance, where dancers adorned themselves with African costumes and dance in circles. The dance is accompanied by drummers, singers, and the sound of metal bells singers. However, the dances serves important social and spiritual functions, including protecting villagers from evil, coordinating communal work, and guiding young men during circumcision rituals. Jola dance is widely considered interesting and often described as a vibrant, high energy, and captivating cultural experience. It is not for entertainment only, but deeply rooted in Jola cultural heritage and community life. The Jola dance is powerful and enriching experience, appreciated for its deep cultural roots and lively communal nature. The dance has survived many centuries.
Certainly the best. Certainly the best.
Thank you for joining us today on the program Healthy Living. I'm Adesu Wausa. A lot of us wonder why somebody will sleep and never wake up. Others will just wonder why a healthy person will slump and die immediately. So many of these questions
are heavy in our hearts, but how do we go about it? Some would imply other things to it except for medical reasons. So today, we're going to be talking about sudden cardiac deaths. Sudden cardiac deaths, we'll look at the symptoms, if there are any, causes, and probably we'll get some possible cautions to be taken or adhered to so that you don't fall victim to sudden cardiac death. And who are more susceptible to this problem? Is it the male or female, or is it an everybody thing? These are many more we'll be looking at on the program today on Healthy Living. And joining me to discuss this is Dr. Henry Onwalu, a Senior Registrar Cardiology Unit of the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. A pleasure to have you join me today, Doctor.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. So, like I said, sudden cardiac deaths. What does it mean?
Well, good afternoon, viewers. Just as the name implies, sudden cardiac death. So that suggests an unexpected death that is sudden, usually within an hour of symptoms. And of course, in a patient or in someone with a known or unknown cardiac disease. I say known or unknown because most times people routinely will not go for checkup. So there's an underlying heart problems, but they never knew about it because they didn't get to visit a clinic where a doctor evaluated and said, we have an underlying heart problems. Just managing themselves, pushing through until the day there was an incident, and maybe on autopsy or on further investigation, we discovered that there was an underlying cardiac problem. So that's why we say it is sudden cardiac death.
This one that is sudden, are there symptoms?
Yeah, usually what we call a prodromal phase or signs and symptoms, where the person may feel, unusually weak or fatigue. Sometimes some of them it can come with chest pain, some chest discomfort or chest pain that cannot really be so clear. Just feel some chest discomfort. Some of them may have what we call palpitation. Okay. A sudden awareness of one's heart. Usually, the heart beats 247. You don't get to know that your heart is beating. I think you don't get to be aware of the beatings of the heart. But when one begins to feel or be aware of the heartbeats, that's what we refer to as palpitation.
Like what kind of feeling should that person have?
As the heart is pulsating, you hear, you are aware that my heart is beating too fast, or it's beating irregularly.
Sometimes there is this feeling of fear and the heart will suddenly jump. Other times it could just jump for no reason at all. According to laymen like us, for no reason at all. You say, why is my heart beating like this? There's nothing pushing you, or there's nothing that took you by surprise to have caused that kind of palpitation, but you just feel it. And other times you see people just said, hold on to their hearts, and then the next thing they slump and die. So
such is a pointer to why somebody should get evaluated properly. For instance, it's not normal. I usually would not feel that heart jumping. Usually would not feel that heart, beating too fast. And for no reason you are feeling it. Well, it's okay when somebody is anxious. That could be physiological. Or when somebody is, exerting himself, or maybe somebody that is running. When you run, the physiological response of the heart is you feel your heart beating faster. And for this one, for no reason, you're just going about your normal activity, which you would do before. And you can feel the heart, jumping, like you say, that's what we call palpitation. That suggests that all is not well. So that one should visit
But unfortunately, even at that, I've seen it happen and say, what I need is a bottle of soft drink. Let me not promote them now. A bottle of soft drink and some water, I'll be fine. I've seen it happen to somebody, and the person just took a bottle of soft drink and said, okay, I think I'm good, without thinking of going to the hospital. The hospital is usually the last place every person will want to visit. And that on its own is, I think that on its own is a pandemic already, because people don't go to hospital until it is quarter past. So now let us look at those with underlying ailment that should be aware of this problem.
Yeah, usually with people with, there are things we call risk factors. Risk factors means what are the conditions that predispose one to having a sudden cardiac death.
Okay.
And so we could categorize it as nutritional. You can even say genetic. When you say nutritional, things like excessive alcohol comes in here. Of course, excessive alcohol, some persons will have their hearts racing and jumping. And sometimes there are some drinks referred to as energy drinks. I don't want to mention some names now. You know, those drinks,
please don't mention. We just know the energy drinks, sport drinks.
They make you feel alert, energetic. Even sometimes you don't sleep. But if you look in, some persons could take as much as more than they should take. And they will be wondering, the way my heart is beating, it's not regular.
But nowadays, people live on it, especially young men. You see them carrying it in water cans and
some get
in
lucky.
All kind of bottles.
Some get
but that
lucky.
is what they live on.
Some get lucky. They know that, oh, it is each time I take this, I feel this symptom, and they stop. And you know, when you take away the trigger or the assault, it means that the injury is off, and then the person will be free. But someone may not know, just keep taking it and taking it. And before know what's happening, there's problem. That's why I said nutrition comes in the energy drink, the excessive alcohol. There, for some reasons, you know, when you talk about malnutrition, we have what we call micronutrient malnutrition, things like magnesium particularly. For some studies, you know, it's been observed that when the magnesium intake is low, it can predispose to a nutritional factor causing sudden cardiac death.
For the purpose of educating the public, can you please break down this magnesium intake?
Most times when we take our food, you know, we talk of balance. That's why we talk about fruits. Sometimes we say take supplements. If one goes for a routine screening and the magnesium level is low, there's some reasons we say, okay, let's do micronutrient screening. And if it's low, they will give you some supplements, and of course, take some fruits. Most of the food we eat, all those things we put, some of them have some of these micronutrients in the amount that is sufficient for the body. But if for some reasons there's, you know, we're not having balanced diet and there's some malnutrition from micronutrients, then we'll put in supplements.
In this economy, we are talking about getting our tummy filled, not balanced diet now.
But most times, some of the things we need for the balanced diet are things that we could help ourselves with. As simple as having a garden, you know, once in a while putting fruits in your diet, those little things that we may just commonize. They really may not be so difficult to access. And we don't need so much from these micronutrients just to be well nourished. Then things like genetic factors. In genetic factors, a lot has to do with genetic factors because for some reasons it just runs in some family. You know, if in some family you have this history of people having sudden cardiac death, people just slump and they are no more, they slump, and particularly when it's multiple, that suggests that every member of that family should come for screening. So we can pick the problem earlier and then begin to see how we can manage the risk factors. It's not the person's fault, that in some families, for some reasons, we have what we call hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. The heart's just excessively thickened. It's not your fault, but being aware, you know, one anticipates. And
it's not a village people thing.
Not necessarily.
Because that is what we usually attribute it to.
Not necessarily. Medically speaking, it's a genetic factor. That's why I said nutritional factor. I've explained that. I've talked about genetic factor. Now we're talking about what some of them, we call them long QT syndrome. For some reasons, the electrical transmission in the heart, you know, because of some structural malfunction or abnormality of the genetic makeup. So the conduction is not smooth, it's longer, like you say, long QT syndrome. And that's predisposed to abnormal conduction. And that can cause a sudden cardiac arrest, and that's sudden cardiac death. And we have acquired, we have congenital. Of course, for the acquired, there are some drugs that can prolong the QT interval. So such drugs, in some conditions, are avoided. So there are some tests we do when the QT is prolonged. Some of those drugs are avoided because that can lead to sudden cardiac death in a patient that already have a background problem. You know, then there are a lot of others. So we talk about genetic. We talk about I've mentioned nutritional.
Yes, you have.
We have what we call arrhythmias. Arrhythmias still talks about the electrical conduction of the heart because the heart works by both the mechanical and the electrical. That's what keeps the heart working. So with the electrical components, if there's any problem in the transmission, what we call arrhythmia, it's like somebody, when you say somebody is having what we call convulsion epilepsy, sometimes in this transmission in the heart, there's some disruption or abnormal flow. So that abnormal flow is what we call arrhythmia. One of them is what we call premature, I'm sorry for using a lot of medical
jargon. No, go ahead. Well,
premature ventricular contraction. If an ECG is done, sometimes it can be occasional, not to worry. But for some time, if it is maybe having it occurring like 10 times in an hour. That's significant. And that can give an idea of this person is at risk of sudden cardiac death. So having that, evaluating arrhythmia can help us know and categorize. So there are a lot of other risk factors, but for time, just
okay, there's one I'm going to ask you after this short break. All right, the program is Healthy Living on Independent Television. We'll take a very short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with questioning the doctor so that we can get answers to our problems. We'll take that short break now. All right, thank you everyone for staying tuned. We're still on Healthy Living, and I'm talking with Dr. Onwualu. All right, doctor, what is the relationship between obesity and sudden cardiac death?
Yeah, you know, the list, I didn't exhaust all the list for risk factors causing sudden cardiac death. Well, we have modifiable risk factors and non-modifiable risk factors. One of such is things like genetic factor. You don't determine your genetic components. You are giving birth to that way. Things like your age.
But we can manage it.
Well, identifying it helps us
to manage
and try and see how we can avoid things that can trigger it. But we have no control. Things like increasing age is a risk factor for sudden cardiac death.
Okay.
So we have no control. We age per second. But the second that goes by, I'm getting older, I'm not getting any younger. So you have no control over that. But things like weight, what is obesity? The body mass index is one of the criteria we use to define obesity, either abdominal girth or body mass index. Either way you see it, those are things we use to objectively assess obesity. So if we go by BMI, obesity means that the weight for height is more than, most times we say 25 and above to 29.9, according to WHO, we say it's overweight. Then anything 30 and above, we say it's obesity. So this poses a risk for coronary heart disease, cardiovascular disease, and of which, once there's a cardiovascular disease, that means that there's a background underlying heart problem, and that's a risk factor for sudden cardiac death. So that's the relationship between obesity and sudden cardiac death. So for obesity also, you know, one of the things that it's modifiable. We have we have the opportunity to shed off some weight.
Work on it.
That's why I classify it as it's classified as a modifiable risk factor, unlike the increasing age, genetic components, and the others that are not modifiable. So this one is modifiable.
Okay, instances where people sleep and don't wake up again. Could it be cardiac arrest or cardiac sudden death?
Now, well, cardiac arrest could lead to sudden cardiac death. Don't forget, when they say cardiac arrest, it means that the heart stops. And for the period the heart stops, there may be some injury. Whether I like it or not, when there's an abrupt cut-off of the oxygen and blood supply, because even the heart itself requires blood supply and oxygen. You know, the particular area or segment supplied suffers some injury. So there's some micro scar, depending on the level of damage that has occurred there. And when that occurs, that's to say that that place will malfunction. And so that's why I say there's a link between the cardiac arrest leading to sudden cardiac death. But however, the defining factor there is that there's a background cardiac disease before you can talk about the sudden cardiac death.
So when people sleep and don't wake up, is a problem
now
too?
When people sleep and don't wake up, if there's a background heart problem, sleeping and don't wake up could mean that the sudden cardiac death occurred while asleep. And things like heart attack, if an heart attack occurs during sleep, and depending on the severity, what we call myocardial infarction, what we refer to as heart attack in the layman's word, is that there is some occlusion of the blood supply to a particular region of the heart. So the degree of the occlusion defines the severity of the ischemia. So if it is an acute myocardial infarction, that means the occlusion is at least 70%, 80%, 90%, almost completely blocked. And when that happens, it shows that that part of the heart is compromised, and there may not be recovery.
Okay, does this also happen in children?
Yeah, it is rare, but when it does happen in children, then most likely it is a genetic component that is contributing. All those genetic abnormalities like the long QT syndrome, the Brugada syndrome, when those ones are occurring, most times below 35 years, then otherwise, it's like I said, increasing age is one of the strong risk factors. as we grow older, the vessels are sclerosed, you know, the heart is old. And for most times, people that already have a background heart problem, for instance, heart failure. Somebody that has heart failure suggests that the person is also at risk of having a sudden cardiac death, particularly when the ejection fraction, because when we do a scan of the heart, what we call echocardiography, we are able to assess for the systolic function by the ejection fraction. If it is less than 30, that is an indicator of a high risk for sudden cardiac death.
You know, all of this will be difficult for layman to understand, except you go to the hospital. And it's not something you can diagnose yourself.
No, you have to be evaluated. That's why, for instance, somebody maybe somebody close to you now, maybe walking or being around you at work, but you observe that this person is always easily getting tired. But the person is managing. Such person shouldn't manage. You should just visit and say, I observed that recently I'm not as strong as I used to be. I easily get fatigued. Maybe the person is overweight. That's another reason to say, oh, I'm overweight, I'm easily getting fatigued. Let me just walk in for a check. This is not how I used to feel. And you may be surprised, you go in for that check and they say, oh, the ejection fraction of the heart is low. And of course, there are some drugs we can give to improve the function of the heart, shed off some weight. There's some injection we can give to shed off some weight. There's some things we can do to improve the overall function. And then that risk factor is controlled. And that delays the, you know, the consequences that would have happened if the person had not come for that checkup. So the message here is, when we don't feel well enough, when we feel unwell, when the body gives signals, because most time the body will give signals, and we recognize those signals, we are advised to walk into the general practice and have a general check.
You know, being on this program is like doing advocacy too. But unfortunately, you are Nigerian, I'm Nigerian. You work in a hospital. You know that most cases come from the emergency units. Until somebody is almost gone, we find it difficult to go to hospital. And the problem of this world is so much that anything can happen to anybody at any time. Somebody can just fall suddenly in the market and the person is gone. And people don't come to help. The next, everybody's bringing our phone to come and let's see what's happening. You're videoing the person instead of calling for help. And then ambulance services is another thing. The 911, the emergency number thing is another crazy thing in this part of the world. We don't really have it.
I know we used to have some emergency ambulances I see at work. I don't know if that's still functional.
I think those ones are still there.
Fine. So thanks to
but it should be everywhere.
Our environment, we have that. However, well, it is what we are faced with. And that now will be a pointer to self-help, what you can do to prevent it, do. One of the risk factors I didn't mention was psychosocial. Psychosocial risk factor is something that we may be able to control. Things like things that can necessarily make you depressed, you avoid them, because depression is a risk factor for sudden cardiac death. Things like maybe, for instance, you know, well, your socio-economic status, really, you don't have any control over that. But just try and work harder to improve, because most times some of these things happen more in the low socio-economic status. Yes, maybe because, I don't know, the people high up there are able to afford medical, they're able to access healthcare easily because they are more empowered. So maybe that's why it occurs more in the low socio-economic status than the higher socio-economic
Even for some of those who can afford it, hospital is the last place they want to go to. Rather, we'll go to church. We'll go and faith it out.
Well, yeah.
So relationship between faith and medicine.
It has to be, there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance. Why there has to be a balance? Even if you want to faith it out, you should even know what is wrong before you faith it out. And if you know what is wrong, you're faithing it out, you know what you're faithing. So you can't know what is wrong if you're not evaluated. So I will still explain further that maybe ignorance may be the problem. What are you faithing when you don't even know what is wrong?
What is wrong?
And so I don't think there should be any clash. It's just ignorance, maybe. Because if you feel unwell, you need to be told why you are feeling unwell. So you are not working, get evaluated and say, okay, this is what
I don't think ignorance is an excuse, because a lot of us are very good churchgoers. I believe in miracles, I do. So don't get me wrong, please. I believe in miracles, but you have to know, like you said, you have to know what is wrong with you before you can ask for a miracle or what is wrong with you. All right. Doctor, before we leave, Nan, can you just please tell every one of us, particularly those of us who don't like hospitals, I don't like hospitals, but I try my best possible to do all that I can. Tell us what to do. How should we look at our hearts before we start running to the hospital? Tell us how the heart should function, what we should look at for and how to generally take care of ourselves so that we don't become victim of our own mistakes. In the next 30 seconds, can you do that for us?
Yeah, I can do that. Well, the summary of all we've just said is be aware of your health, know your numbers, know your body.
Okay.
You feel any slight change you cannot explain. You don't have to like the hospitals. And most times you don't have to have emergency per se before you walk in. We have what we call the wellness clinic. You just walk in, I just keep my routine. I make it a habit once in a year to go for general check.
Like a birthday gift to yourself.
Yes, and know your numbers. What are the numbers you should know? Know your BMI.
Okay.
Know your blood pressure.
Okay.
Know your fasting blood glucose.
Okay.
Know your cholesterol, at least this basic 4. Your BMI will help you know how you should discipline yourself to trim your weight down and your diet. Your blood pressure will help you know if you need an intervention to work on your BP or not.
Okay.
Your fasting blood sugar will help you know if you need to control that sugar. And of course, your cholesterol will help you know if you need to control your cholesterol.
Okay.
And if you can do this on your routine check at least once in a year, then at least you've done the minimum you should do.
All right, doctor. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us. Today we cannot take calls. We hardly take calls on TV, but we can take calls on radio, and we do that on Thursday. So let me get this promise from you that we'll do this on Thursday on radio. Yes, doctor, yes. Thank you so much for saying yes. All right, people, this is what we're going to do today. Know your cholesterol level, know your BMI, know your sugar level, know your heart rate level, know everything that you need to know about yourself. And I will let you know that it does not cost much. There's a wellness clinic at UBTH. It's a government hospital. I'm not promoting that hospital. I've used it, and I think you can use it too. Hopefully the strike will be over soon, and people will go about their normal activities again in the hospital. So thank you, Dr. Nwalu, for finding time to be with us. So we'll see you again on Thursday, and that will be on radio. Until then, please take care of yourself. Don't drink too much. There are some sport drinks you should not even go close to, okay? All of this will damage your life if you are not careful. Bye-bye.
Certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, But the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
In the evening of the initiation day, all the newly initiated Edion danced to the residents of the Odion Way and also visited some homes of the various senior elders, where Chief Elder Ogbedo Onwonse was very conspicuous, especially at the country home of Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osaro Igbenedion with his family on the night of the initiation. On the following morning, as part of the rite to be performed by the newly initiated Edion in Okada town, the initiates, led by Chief Elder Ogbedo Onwonse, visited the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osaro Igbenedion, at his Okada country home residence to pay homage and appreciate him for all he has done in the development of the community, which has placed Okada in world map. They also thanked him for his role in the success of their ceremony. They commended the Esama of Benin as a custodian of Benin cultural heritage and for revitalizing the age-long tradition of the age-grade ceremony.
Certainly the best.
Good afternoon. Welcome to your favorite weekly current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. My name is Egosa Agmonlao. I can assure you that today's program will be as entertaining, educative as ever. On today's show, we're looking at the recent directive of the president that additional policemen of over 20,000 to be recruited. Directive has also been given that the military should also recruit soldiers. Now, this is because of the very disturbing rate of insecurity in parts of Nigeria. Edo State is not exempted. We know that the governor of Edo State, Modukpewolo, is doing what is necessary to tame or to curb the security threats in Edo State, but there's still insecurity. Very disturbing. I have very distinguished personalities who will dissect this issue with me today. I have a clergyman who is also a member of the police, how do you call that, your organization?
PCROC.
PCROC, you know, is the civilian body that normally work with the police to provide security. He's a member. And we also have with us, he's a member, Dr. Emeka Ekuga. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Obala.
And we also have with us a very renowned analyst, a lecturer. He's also a clergyman as well, Dr. Maxwell Osagi. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you, Osa. Viewers, good afternoon.
So, I must tell you that my guests, they are very disturbed because of the insecurity in Nigeria. But the very first question is, do we think that this rush style, this quick fix intention of Mr. President of recruiting over 20,000 policemen, recruiting additional personnel into the military, will solve this problem? We'll start with Dr. Maxwell Osagi.
Okay, thank you. I think the recruitment altogether is about 50,000. You know, there was an initial order he gave before, so with additional one that he has now there. Well, whichever way we look at it, whether we call it quick fix or early bird fix,
yes.
At the end of the day, what we want to just see is a system that is secure.
Yes.
where each and every one of us can be free to do our normal running and greener pasture stuff. But as you know, an average Nigeria government is not providing anything for you. So on a daily basis, everybody wakes up and just try to see what they can do to feed themselves and their family. It's not easy. So on that, the only thing which we could say that the government is really, we can say government is doing, is the security. Because if we say road now, we cannot tell. If you say pipe-borne water, we cannot tell. Electricity, we cannot tell. So I think the only thing which an average Nigeria require from this current government, or even those that have been there before, just secure the environment for us. You are not giving us water, we are producing our waters. You are not giving us electricity. Many of us now are now resorting back to solar. There is no road. We go to mechanic on a daily basis. We are not complaining. Because those ones, you can actually tell that, yes, something you can manage yourself.
Yes.
Or you know, when one person hold gun here, if we are 50, that person is stronger than the 50 of us.
You are right. Absolutely.
So that's the art of crime. If one person is with gun and we are 50 here, the person is stronger than 50 of us. Except 2 or 3 want to sacrifice their life for the remaining.
Yes.
That's when you say. But you know, those kind of things, nobody is willing to do that. So I think we would say that is not a good bet. Let them just do something.
Okay.
I think let them just do something.
Okay, thank you for your opening remarks. We really want a secured Nigeria. Dr. Mecca Ekuga, your PCROC, police community relations, you know, you work with the police, you know. So do you think this is a welcome development?
Well, of course, you know, it's coming a little bit late.
Okay.
I can say it for free that when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was campaigning, one of the things he promised was to secure Nigerians, because he has seen it coming. He saw it before he decided to run for #1 of this nation. And he also promised that there's going to be recruitment. He gave order for recruitment. Yeah. But unfortunately, nothing of that nature. And if you ask me why, I will tell you, those who want to go into force, we are afraid. And up to tomorrow, they are still afraid. Some of them, if you ask me, I will tell you, they were afraid. Recruit them now. Take them to where the war is more severe. And you withdraw. It happened in the Bible. You withdraw, perhaps they will be killed. Another danger, another fear that made some of the youths didn't go into that issue of recruiting into the force was that by the time you recruit them, there is no welfare. They are not being taken care of.
But the government has always said that the welfare of security personnel are being adequately taken care of.
But if you ask them,
they've increased salaries. We've seen even policemen being promoted. We've seen so many videos of policemen being promoted.
Many of them will tell even when they are being promoted,
yes,
it's just to hang something on their shoulder. Nothing to be shown about that.
We don't have evidence of that. We believe that money must be added once you are promoted.
You see, I agree with you, because we can come up here and we are not alleging. But if the welfare of those who are securing lives and properties are being taken proper care of, I don't think we'll have issues. They will walk with their blood. They will sacrifice everything you can think about. How much is the what do you call it? A Nigerian policeman's salary, basic salary. How much? Compared to the situation on ground, compare to the hunger in the land. A bag of rice before now is how much? A bag of rice is more expensive than the salary of a first man. Make this analysis, find out. And this is why you see them, nobody before. If you are a first man, you are a policeman, or you are an army man, that is, you are in the force. You would want your child to also follow after you. But let me ask you, how many first men today bring their children or want their children to follow after them? You should ask, make inquiries. But all biddies, I think coming in today, Dr. Maxwell has told us it's about 50 put together now. If we have 50,000 policemen, army men put together, I think we will have a little sense of belonging, sleeping, closing our eye a little bit. If they are being taken care of, if their welfare packages are being taken care of, not when you recruit them, you send them to a particular state, there is no allowances attached to it. That's why you even see them stand and start collecting money from motorists. That's why you see them, if you come now, have an issue, you have to pay to secure somebody's bail. That's why you see them doing all these things. Even though it has been coming from time, their welfare has not been properly taken care of. If they do that now, I am sure we get a better first men in this nation.
Thank you for your comments. Let me quickly state that the comments of my guests are their personal opinions expressed on this program, not a reflection of the station's policy or statement. Well, I must quickly add here that we don't have the evidence of the basic salaries of policemen, but I believe that when policemen are promoted, they also have increase in salaries. And we also know that the bags of rice, we have bags of rice now less than 100. So I want to believe that policemen also earn more than that. But all the same, that does not remove the point being made by Dr. Emeka Ekuga. What he's saying is that welfare of policemen should be adequately taken care of. Visit the barracks. Are you impressed with the kind of building they stay, the kind of accommodation? So that's part of welfare. So barracks should also be done. We've gotten a recent report now from the federal government where they said they want to renovate stations and all of that.
Training center.
Training centers. It's very important. You see where policemen are being trained. Sometimes you weep. So I'm happy the federal government want to improve that, because all that, join together, make up welfare, not only salaries.
If you recruit them, also equip them properly.
Okay. So Dr. Maxwell, my fear and the fear of some persons. Now, these recruitments, some persons believe that it could be infiltrated by even criminals. Or do you think there are ways, better ways that they could do it to prevent criminals taking advantage of joining our force so that they can legally have weapons and become a threat?
Okay, thank you. In line with what you have asked, before I come back to the question of infiltration, but when we talk about the salary package of Nigeria workers vis-a-vis when we look at the police force or in general the entire force. My father happens to be a retired policeman.
Okay.
My wife's father happens to be a retired policeman.
Okay. So you have police collection.
The two fathers. The two
fathers. You know about police very well, more than every one of us.
I know. Just because what Doc said, Dr. Emeka said, the question we keep asking our parents, the even which I say asked my father-in-law.
Yes.
Why is it that you people don't want your children? even then we could classify that things were a bit better in their time. Why is it that you don't want your children to enter force? Now, the rottenness of Nigeria force is not today. It's been there. And it's born out of the fact that this recruitment process comes from an angle of quotas. And that quotas which has to do with the local government. You bring this, you bring that, you bring that, you bring that. By the time this local government is not complete, they look for any means to ensure that it's complete. And anybody can go. That was then. So you now find a system that is so rotten that at the end of the day, it's just all about, as you know, Nigerians, it's just all about personal, too many personal interests. Someone can look at something that will benefit 500 persons, but because his interest has not been met on that, so those 500 persons can go and die. Just because of him. And that's why you find out that we are where we are till tomorrow. Today. Without putting into proper perspective the collective will and the view of others towards that thing. Now, not until we desist from this kind of art, we continue to have a system. If you say, oh, fine, the salary to police is to me and everything, that's why. But we have when the system was a bit better. They were still collecting this money. We still see them in the roadblock that time collecting money. I grew up to meet them collecting money in the roadblock. So it's not a matter of, I grew up to meet police collecting money on the road. Very soon I will become a grandfather. Police is still collecting money on the road. So it's not just all about the salary. Yes. It's all about the greediness that have embedded our society.
Corruption.
That no matter what the government pay, no matter what the salary, is everywhere. We just see people who are not okay with what, there are so, their life have been so designed in such a way that even when they earn millions or billions, if you don't bring that 20,000 to add to it, the thing is not complete. So we just have people like that, and these are the people. It's not just all about infiltrating the system with criminals. We have people who don't carry gun, who don't give information, but they are worse. They are worse.
Dr. Sagi.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I understand. No, I wasn't.
I wanted to make an input.
Yeah.
Based on what you've just said now.
Yes.
Now, they've started collecting this money before you were born.
Yes, sir.
Let's come this way. You paid me my salary. Is my salary part of the money I should use to buy fuel and put in a petrol van? You paid me my salary. Is my salary part of the money I should use to buy a bullet to put in the firearm you gave to me?
Okay.
You paid me my salary. Is my salary part of the money I should use to maintain the petrol van? Because I have come to understand that one of the reasons why you see them doing what they're doing is still based on that inability for those who employ them to fix things right. My brother, I am not saying don't quote me this time around. I know it is my opinion. But whether you agree with me or not, if you go to any of the stations, you see the kind of vehicles they carry. If they give you as a person to dash you, you won't take it. I'm telling you, sir. And the same vehicle you want to use to pursue criminals who are well equipped. But thank God today, I'm seeing new vans. If you come to Government House today, you see the beautiful patrol vans the governor has purchased, distributed to most of the area commands, state commands, and the divisional.
Want to see those vehicles being used?
No, I have a different perspective.
Before now, these men maintain their vehicle themselves. Even when this vehicle is being donated to them, I don't know if there is anything like money budgeted specially for maintenance
There
of these vehicles. Is it properly used?
That's the question that we should
Are you getting me?
be debating.
Police cannot be calling you as a civilian and say, come and support us to repair our motor. Neither should police say, if they don't collect money on the highway or anywhere they mount to check, they will be able to fuel those vehicles. Was there any room made for all these things? If there is, why is it not properly monitored?
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's just get
in line with this.
Dr. Master.
For every organization, there is budget.
Okay.
Police as an institution is not out of this same normal standard.
Okay.
There is a budget.
Yes.
Now the question, has there been any governor who will see local government buying cars? Because you discover that the problem Nigeria has is that when the things comes to government matter,
yes,
nobody wants to take responsibility for anything. So you could see someone using his car for 10 years. 10 years.
Yes.
But someone will buy, government will buy a car that will not last for 1 year.
It's terrible.
So see, there are questions we need to start asking. Because we said it's government, now all the Hilux and all the cars that Oshomole purchased, Obaseki purchased, Igbinedion purchased, what's his name? Oyegu purchased. I'm using Edo State as a case study now. As former governor. Can you tell me where they are? But some of us have cars that we have been using for the past 10 years. Have we packed them? No. So there is this, if you are collecting the money, the way the police are collecting the money now, you collect the money on the road.
But it's wrong to collect money.
Which is alien.
It's
alien. In 21st century, a country like Nigeria shouldn't be found in
there's
such an act.
There's a time they even stopped checkpoints and all of that.
Things,
but they are back again.
There are things that actually make some persons to say, I want to enter this place. Oh, because he or she just saw that there are several ways you can make money. You go to police station, you pay money. There is no matter.
Bail is
there
free.
Is no matter you bring to police station that you enter police station. If your pocket enter police station and empty, you are not going to live there. Because it's a normal thing that we all know in this country.
But bail is free.
Yeah, that's what they will tell you. But go there with your pocket empty. There is no bail that you will say now in any police station that you will live there. You say you have 10,000 naira, you will live. Where? In this country. So if you aggregate all this amount they are collecting on a daily basis, let's leave salary. Is it not enough? Or only for bail? Is it not enough to buy fuel?
Do you know whether they use?
Do you
know whether they use the money to buy files?
Gentlemen, so why am I saying it? I will come back to your question. Okay. Why am I saying it? There is this greed that is worrying all of us. That staying with our salary has become a big problem. Of which that same salary is enough to take care of our basic.
Okay, but you have to answer
but
this.
In terms of the filtrating aspect of it.
No, before you answer that.
Okay.
Based on what you have said now, are you saying that this issue of some policemen allegedly collecting bribe and all of that, do you think?
Do you say allege? Allege?
Are you saying that has increased the insecurity? Are you saying it's
so we are not talking about in the room they are collecting money. Yes. Just go out now.
Okay.
What you call allege is that?
No, we don't have the evidence.
Even you. This is serious. So what stop the journalists from carrying video and just video a session of police where they are with all the where I know that the police force is doing their best to remove all these greedy people out of the system. It's not easy. In any system, you know, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's just that once one bad happens, it covers 15 good.
Yeah.
So they are doing their
best.
Are
you saying that is leading to insecurity?
Yes, seriously.
You need to let us
seriously, understand. Because get it clear. Okay. Get it clear. Because when you look at all these things, if I have to bring a case, I know I will always settle myself out financially. It means that there is no issue. Because we have a system where do it first, go to court. Now that go to court, also boils down to the same thing we are talking about. We are told here, we were informed here, judiciary, they increase their salary with over, I think about 300%. Till tomorrow, our judges, you heard your president. So this is not alleged now. I'm quoting the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, where he said that the judges should live above corruption. Invariably, what does that word mean? And logically speaking, you people are corrupt. That's what that word means. If you look at the logical explanation for it. So if someone that is that the salary was increased by 30%, 300%, and he's still looking into what the politician will bring before he can judge, look for a technical terms to say this case is dead and everything. That's a problem. We have a systemic problem that we must clear. In terms of the fear of people invading the system who are not real, it has to do with the recruitment process. Because if you know how the home you came from, my father said, when you know the home you came from, you know how to sit in the public. I expect that at this point in time, the leadership of the armed forces should be able to sit down and say, okay, fine, and we need to tighten our recruitment process. But the greatest problem we have now, just like Dr. Emeka said, nobody is willing to go in. Because for an average Nigeria, social media has shown that, oh, you see someone in the war front, he said, we have been abandoned, oh, they want to kill us and everything. And you are hearing someone say, they are killing us, so they have killed 5. Can you see it? And you yourself, you are now doing press up. You said you want to enter Nigeria army. About to go and die. Nobody wants to. So if you ask me, I cannot tell you that I have an in-law. My wife, younger sister, is an army. The husband is an army. I have been preaching to them. Quit.
No, you can't say.
No, please. The reason why we need
more people to join the Nigerian army to secure lives and property.
Sir, the kind of prayer we are praying on a daily basis when we hear that they are in the war front and everything. Sir, sometimes 2 weeks we not hear, we they pray. I'm telling you. So let me allow God to rest. By disturbing God, allow God to rest. Let them quit.
But whether is
because the system is not taking care of them.
Whether it's family members or not, whether it's his family members or not, definitely you must pray, because others, their children are also there. So all of us cannot be there. Somebody must have to be there.
Sir, there is a part of.
We are encouraging the recruitment.
Yes, we are encouraging the recruitment.
We must take a break now.
Okay, thank you.
We'll come back to you, Dr. Master and Dr. Emeka. I hope you are enjoying the program 60 Minutes Nigeria. We must encourage able-bodied men and women to join the Nigerian Army, to join the Navy, to join the Air Force, to join the police. All we are saying is that be eligible. Ensure that you have the right credentials and you are fit. Because you need to fight for your fatherland. You need to protect lives and property. Government need you to join. My guests have just expressed fears because of what they have seen. But we are expectant that things will change and things will get better. But they will talk more on this topic after this break.
Our shepherds watch their flock by night.
ITVN Radio 2025 9 Lessons and Carols in conjunction with Christ Chosen Church of God International, Benin City, Edo State. Dr. Jolin Osaiguma, Medical Director and CEO, Jonas Medical Center, 30B, 2nd Secular Road, Benin City. Ambassador Dr. George Osabonye Osagede Ohuawo, CEO, Presley Printing Press, Presley Table Water, George Osagede Foundation, George Osagede OU Nigeria Limited. Honorable Charles Egariba, MD Charon Octoten Nigeria Enterprises, CEO, Octoten Premium Table Water, Outdoor Advertisement Consultant. Dr. Scott Osayame Aigbovia, FCTI, FIMC, FCCRFA, FCNA. President, Nigeria Union of Local Government Employees, Nolge Edo State Chapter. Comrade Friday Agbohian, President, Edo State Sawmillers Association.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking
That's
about...
what I said. So
that's...
when they bullied her,
Yeah.
if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They
smart.
can't sit
If
down.
you see when they are dressing them or are dragging on both sides, you cannot breathe. And these women will...
What a delight to have you back, especially those of you that started the program with us, spending 60 minutes with us. We do not take it for granted. We are really delighted to have you. And my guest, Dr. Emeka Ekuga, and of course, Dr. Maxwell Osagie, they have been able to express their fears and advise government to really do what is right. The responsibility or the duty of any government is to provide security of lives and property. But some persons can't travel now on the road. They are scared. Not everybody can afford flight tickets. They are very expensive. So most people still travel on using normal roads. And they are scared until they get to where their destination, their family members cannot celebrate. It's as bad as that. So we must tackle this. And the federal government say, okay, one of the ways is additional recruitment. The President Tinubu, is known for saying that recruit people. But the problem now is that most of the youths refuse to be enlisted. We've seen an army officer that has said that the quota for some eastern states, they are not filled. The quota for some states, they are not filled. They are telling Nigerians now, come and join. They are not forcing anybody, but they say, come and join. We need to encourage our brothers and sisters, the youths, able-bodied youths, to join the police, to join the military, and serve their fatherland. We have no other country. Everybody cannot japa. We must help our country. Well, my guests have a lot to say. Dr. Emeka Ekuga. Now, insecurity is staring us in the face. It's no longer news. But how do we tackle it? What's
Right.
the way forward now should be, how do we tackle this problem?
We've been talking about insecurity.
Yes.
Years back till now, we are still talking about insecurity. It's not peculiar to Nigeria. Let's get this fact. But why it is a troubling thing to this nation is how rampant it becomes.
Okay.
And I think President Ashwaju,
yeah,
Tinubu should next time get it right. Especially now the United States is a kind of becoming a threat to this nation. Sometimes if you can't do something as you ought to do, an outsider should be able to motivate you to do it. I overheard our former president made a statement and said if the government cannot fix it, we have the right to invite the international community. Now, everywhere you go today, you see insecurity. You travel on the road, is a problem. You sleep. I watched one of a family, a man and his wife. I watched it. I wouldn't know whether it was very real. It was in social media.
Okay.
Domain. I watched it. He just drove into his house, and before he came out from the car, when I watched it, I saw the door of the car open, and the family members were crying, commenting, and they were recording them. Okay. So they carried this man, carried this woman, passed within where they built some houses in their community, and took them off. Up to today, we've not had. I've not had anything whether they have been released. On Monday, in my junction in my village in Imo State, between Owerri to Aba, Mbotokoha Junction, a vehicle loaded with full passengers from Owerri going to Aba was hijacked and kidnapped. Everybody, all the occupants in that vehicle was kidnapped. Now, what are the reasons to all the extents? That I cannot easily say. But if you still look very well, it still boils down on the negligence of leadership. Power. This is where this insecurity comes up. You want to become anything in the state. You didn't merit it, but you want to take it by force. And by this time, you have to bring in all manner of boys around you, equip them with weapons. I asked a friend the other day, how did these weapons pass our border to come into our states? Was there not men that are assigned to, watch over this, our borders? Some they say they pass through river. They use ship to ship all this equipment or this arms.
Illegal arms.
Illegal arms. Some said it was through air. Where are the navies? Before a ship from America or from Asia or anywhere enter this country, are the navies not aware? Now, before any aircraft land in anywhere in this Nigeria, in any of the airport, are the Air Force not aware?
Agency.
Then before you pass through our border, for whatever reason, where are the security personnel mounted in that border? You find out that before they get to that border, an information has been given to them, so and so is coming in. Don't near there. This is where the problem is. And until the president and those walking around him tighten up, it will be very difficult. Because when you give a young man gun to say, protect me, and all of a sudden, you are not even taking care of that young person. Before you know it, you use the gun to get what he wants. Especially in a country that is too porous like our country. Nobody cares. The issue of insecurity is a very bad cankerworm that has eaten up everywhere today. But let's hope and trust that as the Mr. President is putting effort now, through the fire the Americans are kind of, trying to ignite, I'm sure we are going to get it better. Let me come in here. in the area of Christopher Musa, a former, what do you call him? Chief of Defense Staff. You know, that was in October here. He was kind of relieved of his.
He retired.
Yes, he did he retire according to his. Don't worry. Let's not go into. He was relieved of his appointment or his whatever, because it was also a political appointment. Now, just yesterday he was creamed, and he is now the Minister of Defense. Very good and fine. Very good and fine. Something is behind it, and I'm sure it's going to work out well. I made a statement here some years ago. If you as a governor, a government want to appoint people into offices, if I am an accountant, I should be able to work in the Finance Commission. You should not take me as an accountant and put me in the medical section. What do I have to do? The Minister the Minister of Defense, Federal, a former governor, who what he knows best is farm, is brought in to handle a military force he has no knowledge of. Don't tell me how do I know this. Because when he was a governor, the best he was doing is to negotiate with bandits.
You cannot substantiate.
No, that is what I said.
Yes, you
will tell me don't. But go back to history. Go back to history. And it's still happening till tomorrow.
It just happened in Kirby. Part of what you saw came out from Kirby issue. The change you saw came out from Kirby issue.
Okay, so Emeka, thank you. Let's also get the thought of Maxwell. The way forward now. We've identified that there's a problem staring us in the face, insecurity.
Now, the problem,
yes, the way out
of it is that, first of all, let government learn to take the role of a leader, what enough with responsibility. Now, an average Nigeria is a very simple guy. We just want to see someone who will just take that move and everybody follow. That's why when you find out that when they take the wrong move, you have thousands doing it times 3. So when they also take the right move, you will have more than 1,000 doing it times 3. So that's Nigeria, because we are smart guys.
Okay.
We are smart guys. But why am I saying this? I'm saying this because we've seen where government give us the wrong narrative. And that narrative becomes an issue for us. Till tomorrow you heard how Senate, the debate in Senate, and the question we have asked, if people were released from bandits or kidnappers, they were not killed in Kwara, in Kebbi, in Niger, what happened? Because we didn't hear that one bandit was killed
or arrested.
Is it that they just free and they now suddenly become Father Christmas? So automatically government has shown to us another dimension which is not okay security-wise. Never okay security-wise. They just show to Nigeria. So what that means is even better to just legalize weapon so that all of us just start having weapon rather than negotiating with bandits. I prefer you legalize ammunition for us to be using than discussing with bandits. So this whole issue is just somehow. So when I hear the Senate discussing it and everything, and the world is looking at them, I was worried. So the way forward, all we need someone who can just show that leadership. What I was expecting, yes, in fairness, that thing has nothing to do with the president. But he gave an order. You people rescue these people. And the order he gave, yes, they rescue. But it was later probably they fed him with the procedure they took in releasing the children. While we appreciate the release of those children not being hurt but we also understand that the community, the world is a community. And any little thing you do, because all these bandits, they are not sponsored by one person. No. Do you know what it takes to feed? Can government, when we're dealing with, what's it called?
IDP.
IDP. Was government able to sustain IDP? To feed 200 persons in a day, do you know what it takes? Or to even feed just 20 persons every day, Oza? Do you know what it takes? Talk less of having over 5,000 bandits in one place and everything. Those people that you see, they are orchestrated not just by why we believe that there are 1 or 2 persons involved, but these people, they are being sponsored by multinationals as well as different countries, infiltrating into your government, creating crisis for your government, for your country, so that their country can strive. So I think we should be systematic enough to understand that not until we nip the source, all these things will not solve. I think it's high time we nip the source.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Masra. We'll come back to you, but we'll quickly take a break now. The program is 60 Minutes Nigeria. After this break, we'll be having the concluding part of our discussion.
Nigeria, are you ready for the 2025? ITV. ITV, certainly the best.
Thanks for being a part of 60 Minutes Nigeria. Your concluding remarks, Dr. Ekuga?
Let me challenge Mr. President and Nigerians. If an American lost one soul, it's like all Americans are killed. If Mr. President can come up with this formula, no one soul should be lost in Nigeria through insurgency. I think it will go down deep in the heart of many people. Keeping silent won't be the best. Or striking from the back won't also be the best. Now, give the military all the support they need to go into war over insurgency. And also the youths that has decided to use through courtesim and whatever to be killing themselves, go and show your muscle. Join them to be recruited. Don't stay idle. Join this recruitment exercise. Use your muscle you used to kill an innocent person to go and fight for your nation. It is very important. And I want to also add this to all we've been saying, both in the state, both in the local government, federal. State policing is very important. If you watch very well, I'm sorry, it may not go down well to so many listeners and those who are following us. Everything that happened, you target to Fulani. But I tell you the truth, it's not every kidnapping and killing that is Fulani. In our communities, most of the boys hide under the Fulani canopy and they bring up, do these evils. Most of the boys in the community, they kidnap people in their community because it is a rat that is in the house that we go out to tell the one outside that there is fish in the kitchen.
Thank you very much. And I need to quickly clear the air on that Fulani, they are an ethnic group in Nigeria. And it is wrong for anybody to give them appellation. The Fulani are good people. The Fulani are our brothers. We should love them. And I believe the Fulani also love us. Let's encourage one Nigeria. Some persons are committing crime and they are attributing it to one particular ethnic group. That's what Dr. Eko has just said. So I told you on this program before, I stayed in Katsina State and I had a good relationship there. One Nigeria. Well, let's get the concluding remarks of Dr. Maxwell Osagie.
General Iraboabi, the former chief of
Army
staff,
yes,
few days ago was live on TV, and a question was put to him, which was a bit divided into four. And they said, what is the greatest challenge of the force if divided into four? Equipment, both on the ground, intelligence, and procedure, which is the most hit part that is making Nigerian army not to work well. It's a foot on the ground, which has to do with recruitment. Key. That's why I said let them just do. Secondly, he said equipment. And he made it clear that the equipment being used by these people, when they talk about drone, the kind of drone that they are using is just to go front check and everything. We are moved past that. So the point I want to beg is this. Government needs to take responsibility of showing us the light, and every Nigeria will follow.
Thank you.
Like what, I'm coming, sir. I'm sorry. Like what you see in Edo State, where we expected something better. When we were seeing this Edo State security network team in the previous government, they work better without working with the police. But what we are seeing now is that the police are using them as a puppet. It's now collecting money. They are using them to commit all manner of things that are not a bit okay. I think the governor need to look into that. There is nothing wrong when you make a decision and you look at the model is not working. You adjust it and let it work for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being a part of the program 60 Minutes Nigeria. I believe you've enjoyed this week's edition. The team behind, led by the engineering and of course the PD, the Peter Umaoge, they are doing a great job behind the scene. And of course, next week we'll be with you again. Bye-bye.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking
That's
about...
what I said. So
that's...
when they bullied her, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They
smart.
can't sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them or dragging on both sides, you cannot breathe. And these women would stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.